Yep, thanks all for joining. So good morning. Uh, so in generally, before going to the topics, so already people who didn't join on a demo session for them. So I'm explaining about what is database actually. So before we are going to learn, so we should learn some basic topics and the basic things we need to learn. So I'm not going to stretch on what I discussed on a demo class, but I'll try to give some inputs about the class. So actually, in generally, why we require databases in real time world. So whatever it may be, the data, if you wanted to save it somewhere, where you will be saving it should be saving on a database. It kind of files, it would be kind of documents, kind of files and images, movies, whatever it may be. I mean, these kind of things will be people will be saving somewhere else the data. I mean, related to railway related data, related to ICICI Bank related data, stocks related data, and the companies right now in the market like ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, BSE, NSE, stock exchanges. So whatever the data they are having, where they will be saving. So behind the screen, they will be saving in databases. So that is like what kind of databases we are having. So Facebook, so we can take it as an example as a Facebook. In generally, daily we will be using the Facebook, Instagram, and these kind of things. So how data will be saving. So in generally, when you log into the Facebook system, from the Facebook system, the request will be going from here. And let me, so here, like a Facebook, once you log in here, where it will be going. So it will be going from here, from Facebook database here, website database here. So whatever it may be, when you log in, so it will be going to the databases. From there, again, the response will be coming here again. So the request will be going to the databases and it will fetch, it will get the required data from database and it will show you on your wall post and on your Facebook pages. So this is kind of saving the data somewhere else. Saving the data in databases. So in generally, so this will happen in in all companies. Okay. So, and why we require a database actually, in generally, why we need a database. So the database is mainly we wanted to save the data, we wanted to secure the data. So why, a large amount of data. So older days, what happened is, so if you wanted to a small companies, they use it to save data in notepads. Excel sheet, they use it to save the data in Excel sheets. But if you're keep on updating the data, if you keep on updating the data on a Excel, what will happen, the Excel file is going to increase. The growth is going from 1 MB, 2 MB, 10 MB to 1 GB, like that. So in that cases, it is hard for us to maintain the Excel file. If you are opening the file also, that is not possible to open it quickly. So for this kind of reason, people introduced database DBMS, database management system, and RDBMS, relational database management system. In relational database management system, where people can save their data as a rows and columns in tables, rows and columns in tables. So why database? Manage large amount of data. Accuracy. So accuracy is important thing. So uh, whether you are keeping the data, whether you are saving the data very good accurate or not, perfectly it is saving or not, consistency is there or not on the data for uploading the data. Security, and main thing as well, one more thing as well, like a security, how you will be securing your data. So that is the main responsibility of a database administrator. So how we can secure the data. how you can manage the data, how you can keep the data like safely. So in generally we will be having like a natural calamities like floods and earthquakes. So we keep people saving our data in some location, right? So somewhere else location, like a Facebook data, they'll be keeping their data in some location. In that location, so if some floods were came, so what will happen to our data? So what is the disaster recovery? What is the backup plan for our data? So these kind of things will be come under DBA activities. So this is a DBMS. DBMS is a thing is like a data in generally we will be saving in a files. So just keep in mind data we will be saving in a files. And RDBMS. RDBMS is data we will be saving in a rows and a columns in a table wise. So in a table wise means it is easy for us to manage the data. So a large amount of data can also keep it in a tables like a 1 GB, 2 GB, 10 GB, 100 GB, 500 GB tables will also be available. So we can keep the data, we can easily get the data from tables. And RDBMS, so it will give the features like RDBMS like it will create relationships between the tables in DBMS, whereas when you save the data in file, there won't be relationship between the files. You cannot relate two files and you cannot get the data from combining two files, and you connect data from one result set. That is not possible. So using RDBMS, that is possible. When I'm in a cup, when if you are having like a two tables or three tables or four, five tables as well, you can combine and you can get the data. You can make the relationships on data. So this is some of acid properties were there: atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability. So every RDBMS will follow these things. So I'll be explaining in a real-time world scenario. See, like the base, the motto of this acid model is when one transaction is started means the transaction should complete 100%. Otherwise, it should roll back to zero. It should roll back to where it started. So it should not be the situation like when you started the transaction and it completed 99%. 1% is not completed means, so during that 1% power went or something was happened to our system. So what will happen to the transaction when again you start the system? It will start rollbacking from 99% to 98 till it will be coming to 0%. Means 100% transaction should complete, otherwise transaction should come to 0%. Transaction should complete totally, otherwise transaction should not complete anything. So it should not be in the middle of the stage. It should not be in the middle of the it should complete 100%, otherwise it should be there. I mean before starting the transaction where it is there, same stage it should be there. Let's say I mean we can take it as a ICICI bank transaction, or we can take it as a any recharge on any sites like Paytm or Flipkart or anything. If you wanted to do some transaction, if you wanted to buy something from the Flipkart, what is happening, like you use it to select the products and you are trying to buy a product and you are trying to do something. So what will happen when you're doing the payment? So the payment was done and the product was not completed. Payment was done and the product, I mean the payment done, but the transaction is cancelled in between due to some power loss or something else. So what will happen in these cases? So in these cases, what will happen? You will get the money back if the transaction is not completed. Whatever the money, for if you are going for a recharge, so the recharge, the money was deducted from your account. Money deducted from your account and the transaction was not completed. So what will happen? In between something lost, we lost the power, we lost the internet connectivity. So immediately whatever the money deducted from your account, the money will be coming back to again to your account. I mean, this is the asset properties, I mean, based on the transaction in a real time scenario. Okay. These are some kind of differences between RDBMS and the DBMS system. So I explained these things. So now, see on premise. See on premise. What is on premise? Like, see, in generally, when you set up a company, if I'm going to set up a company in earlier days or nowadays also, if I'm going to set up a company, what I required? I required servers. I required a softwares. I mean, a Windows servers are required, and for that one we required Windows Words or Windows PowerPoint or some kind of softwares are required actually to keep some data or keep something. Some software, Java softwares are required. If SQL Server or SQL Server softwares are required, web servers. I mean, so when you're going to build, I mean, when you're going to start a company, so based on your application, you require a servers, right? For required servers, hardware. So these are the hardware. Software means a software. Everything we required, and where? So in this, you required, and you required a one place. You required a one place to keep these servers. We required one place to keep these servers, and we need to secure these servers. We need a security people for uh, check, I mean, verifying these servers. I mean, security should be there all the time. On premise means our data in our control. I mean, our premises, we will be keeping our data in our premises. On premises means our premises. So in generally older days, all the companies bought like their own softwares, their own hardware, their own place, and keeping data in one place, that we can call it as a data centers. So where our data is residing, that we will be calling as a data centers actually. So in a data center, we'll be keeping all the data, and that is related to our premises, company related premises we will be keeping. So we will be having more commanding. We will be having more commanding on the data. So we'll be having a more commanding on the data actually. So because that is our premises. And later what happened, like a cloud computing. So you people, all people might know. So in generally this topic we are I mean, listening frequently, like a cloud computing. So what is cloud computing? So in generally cloud computing, if see, so if see this is, if see this is our on premise. So this is our on premise. Here our, here our databases would be there in our company. So this is like, we can call it as a on premise. Like this is on premise. And so where this is cloud, what is the cloud? So this is our company. Our data is saved somewhere else. Our data is saved somewhere else. So this is like Microsoft Azure. Microsoft Azure. See, in generally, if you wanted to set up one company nowadays, if you wanted to start one startup company nowadays, I don't require a hardware and software to buy. Hardware and software to buy. Earlier days, I need to buy because no one is giving for a rent. Now, cloud is something like that. People will be giving a rent for a software, for a rent for a hardwares, For a 2 months, if you required for your project, actually you have a startup project, you don't have a cost, you don't have a budget for your project, but you have a plan. So once you wanted to know, if I'm implementing that software, implementing that product, how goes to the market, you don't have idea, but you have some knowledge. In that cases, you don't want to invest every money, all the money on your software or hardware. So what you want, what people will be doing, in generally people will be doing, so they will be having a plan, and they will be having based on plan, so they'll go to Azure, Microsoft Azure, AWS, Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud. These are the top cloud providers in the market. So they will be giving rent their data centers, giving rent their data center hardware and software. They'll be giving rent. So what we will be doing, I'll go. So I required a couple of softwares. I required a couple of servers. So what I'll go to the Microsoft Azure. So I'll be buying. I mean, I'll be taking on a rent for a 2 month subscription, 3 month subscription. I need a 1 year subscription. I'll go on. So in 1 year subscription, so whatever the data I'm using for that one, all I will be paying, pay on use model. So this is a very good model actually for a startup companies, also bigger companies like in generally bigger companies in the market also nowadays moving from on-premise to cloud, because main thing is cost saving. So if I wanted on a on-premise, I need to buy everything. I need to buy one servers, and I need to buy software. I need to buy everything. I need to buy place to keep these servers. I need to keep one security to all the time to keep securing our data, and everything will be there. So, and one more thing as well, if something goes something goes wrong with the data center, or something goes wrong with the place where I kept the data, again that would be a problem. Again I need a backup copy for that one. So that this is everything in on premises. This is related to cost, so budget, cost and everything. If I going to the cloud, there won't be anything something like that. I mean, everything will be taken care by Microsoft Azure Cloud Administrator. Just we need to pay and we need to get the data. So, I mean, so this is, so I mean, you are able to see my WordPad, right? Whiteboard.
Yes.
Okay. So this is cloud computing. See, in SQL Server, in generally, what kind of DB roles and responsibilities, like installation part, installation. So in generally, see, in generally, in a Microsoft SQL Server, SQL Server, two kind of jobs were there. Like one is coming to the SQL Server development part, one is coming to SQL Server administration part. SQL Server development part means, so whatever code writing to build one application, writing the code or something related, that we can call it as a SQL Server development. So developing one application, writing the code. And our part is like a DBA part, database administration part. So we will be taking care of databases. We will be managing the databases. Okay. So in DBA responsibilities, installation, administration, and setting up a test, dev, staging environments, and create users and login permissions. I mean, some kind of roles will be coming to our DB backups. So how you can set up the backups on a daily basis to keep our data safe and keep our data all the time available. And high availability concepts are there. Disaster recovery planning, how you will be planning for the disaster recovery. I mean, something goes happen to the one site where we are having our data centers. If something goes wrong with that one due to floods, or it was having some problem, where we have a backup servers, so that we can call it as a DR, how you can set up the DR as well. I mean, these are the things how we can apply the service pack security updates on our servers. So these are the some topics were there. Hope you understood. Okay. Let me know till now. So if you have any questions. Is it fine till now so far?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, great. So in generally, see, this is I'm targeting not only for IT people, non-IT people as well. Actually, in IT, what is happening actually? So what kind of teams were available and what kind of work what kind of work is going on IT, and how many teams were there. So this kind of things I'm going to explain actually. So this is like a software development life cycle. So in generally in IT, all the companies, they will be following this model actually. So what is this one actually? Software development life cycle. S- So in generally, if I wanted to, if I wanted to build one product and some customers, so I'm an IT company, like a TCS and like Accenture, I'm an IT company. So one customer came to me and is asking, so he wanted to come into the market, like he's like uh, let's say uh, so a fashion world, like let's say fashion world, I mean e-commerce site. So he need one e-commerce site, but he don't have any idea. Customer have some money and he wanted to build an e-commerce site, he don't have any idea. So where he will be coming? So he will be coming to the TCS, or he'll be coming to the Wipro, he'll be coming to Infosys, the companies. So first phase, like once he'll be coming to the software companies, he'll come up with their requirements. So I need this one, I need this one, I need this one. So I wanted to build one e-commerce site. So the site should be on like this, and I need these kind of details. He'll be coming with the requirements and the details. First phase, like in a first. So I mean, the companies and TCS will be gathering all the details. He'll be listening to the clients and he'll be gathering the details and everything. Okay. So next phase, defining phase. So in this phase, what will happen in this phase? Whatever the requirements came from the client, right? So the company TCS, the vendors, they try to keep it on one document, and whether the whatever customer is explained, so whether they kept in a document or not, the same thing they will be explaining again to the customer, and the customer will be reviewing whatever it is mentioned, whether it is correct or not, whatever he discussed and whatever he, I mean, trying to get the details. So once that is cleared from the customer, approved from the customer, where it will be going? It will be going to the design phase. So in design phase, what will happen? So in a design phase, they will be setting up one plan would be there. So if you are building some uh, one apartment or something, so in generally the plan should be there, right? So in this one, so how many what is the place we have, and what is the cost, and how many floors you wanted to build, each floor how many flats you wanted to build, and in each flat how where the how many rooms, like the where kitchen would be there, where living room, where bedroom, children bedroom. I mean, so these kind of things we will be having a planning, right? Same thing like that, the designing also. So how many servers were required, how many servers are required, and what kind of application we required. So I mean, what kind of softwares are required to build the applications. These kind of details will be gathered in this designing phase. So once a designing phase, everything will be, I mean, whatever the software and hardware are gathered and whatever the everything is set up, then we'll be coding for the coding part. What will happen here? Coding part. In the coding part, we will be building the application actually. So developers will be sitting, and developers will be sitting, and front end developers will be sitting. So they will be creating the pages, and in generally website we will be seeing the website designing, right? So people will be creating the website designs. Behind that one, they use it to write the code. So in a Flipkart, if you are clicking on some product, it will be going to one page. So who will be doing? Developer, front end developers, and the developers, they will be doing. So coding, everything will be doing. And so once the site is ready, where it will be going once the site is ready? So site will be going to the testing phase. Means testing, QA people will be, I mean, quality testers, QA people will be testing our site. So QA team will also be there in the company, IT company. So they will be, what they will be doing, they will be testing the site, whether if I'm clicking on this product, whether it is going correctly. If I'm trying to add the card, whether the cart is adding or not. If I'm trying to add the card, it should say something, stock is not available, out of stocks. It is giving a proper details, or it is giving errors. So here in a testing, they'll try to fix the bugs whatever the developers developed the application in testing phase. So once the testing phase is done, means all the bugs are fixed, all the issues or errors are fixed, right? Once it is fixed, it is be going to the deployment. Deployment means production, live. So from the test to live means our e-commerce site is ready to launch on the market. The client, I mean a customer e-commerce site is ready to launch in the market. So they will be launching in the market once everything testing is done. So after launching in the market, the people are ready to use, and people will be using that software, and people will be using that e-commerce site, and they will be signing up to the sites, and they will be keeping their information, personal information, and address information here. So all people will be joining, all people will be, I mean, trying to sign up, right? Where data will be saved? The data will, again, data will be saved in databases only. So again, data will be saved in our databases, right? All, everything will be saved, product related information. So you're trying to fetch the product details, right? Where the details are fetching, those detailed product related details are fetching from, again, from our database tables only. It will be showing here. So the customer related information also will be keeping in databases only. So everything here, what is the maintenance phase? So whatever our data, it is there, right? So this data will be administrated by database administrators. And so we will be, whatever the data is accumulating, whatever the data is coming to the database, we people will be managing. We people will be checking, we people will be verifying, is the data, I mean, current, I mean, is there any issue with the databases or anything? So we need to take care. So this process is, in generally, this process is circular process. It will happen all the time. See, once the product deployment is done, one software is ready, again, when software is ready, people are using the software. Again, client, what the client is saying, we need a new features needs to be added in a site. So where already people are using this site live, right? Then how we will be adding? So in that case, again for that one, requirement analysis, again, what kind of features you required, what kind of requirement, again you are having, again defining, again designing, means for the same site, whatever we are, I mean, launched right in the market, for the same site, developer will be adding the features. Developer will be adding the features, and again they will be testing the features. If the testing is done, all the testing is done, so they will be launching new features to the, in the on e-commerce site. So this is a cycle, this is the cycle, it will happen regularly. So the customers will be asking the new features, and the development people will be working on a daily to implement the new features. Testing people will be testing, and the deployment can be done. Deployment maintenance means after deployment, the maintenance, like we people, DBA, database administrator, application developers, they will be maintain the sites, they will be keep on maintaining sites. So hope you people are clear.
So
Yes, sir.
so
So
what's the place of defining
sorry, what the?
no, what is the phase of defining here? We just confirm the requirement
Yeah.
with
See, in a defining means, so we will be keeping whatever the customer came from the requirement, we will be keeping in on a document. So he'll be saying something like that through meetings or something. For that one, what we will be doing, so we will be keeping on one documented things, and again we will have a meeting with the client, and whether whatever he explained, right, whether we achieved, I mean whether we put it in a paper properly or not, something like this, defining.
okay. So basically reviewing that requirement with the customer one more.
Yes, yes, exactly, reviewing and getting the approval from the customers. Okay.
Thank you.
So again, in the in a IT company, we will be having like a, uh development team, so who will be developing our applications, testing team who will be testing, and the UAT before pushing into the production. We will be having user acceptation test. This is like a kind of QA testing only before pushing into the production. This is the production means live. I mean, this kind of like we will be having environments. Any product or anything we are not going to push directly into the production environment. So it will happen with the development, testing, staging, and production. Okay. So here one more thing, like types of DBAs. How many DBA roles and responsibilities will be there? Two. So one is like a core DBA. So one is like a core DBA. So what core DBA will be doing? Installing SQL Server softwares and setting up high availability concepts and everything core related to SQL Server. Everything core DBA will be doing. Whatever the task will be coming on the database related things, core DBA will be doing. So what is the application DBA? Application DBA won't be doing all the core DBA activities. So he'll be having some knowledge on development skills as well. So he'll be designing some applications and he'll be writing some code as well. Application DBA. So in generally, if you are applying for a SQL Server DBA, so two kind of roles will be available, like a core DBA. They will be asking application DBA. Application DBA means it will be something related to the application only. Core DBA, you can do anything. Okay. In application DBA, you required some knowledge. I mean, knowledge on development. Actually, on development knowledge also require in a application DBA. Okay. So here again, so what I mean, a DBA daily with what teams he will be working daily. So teams will be working in a company, right, with who teams. So Windows team, if you wanted to install a SQL Server, we need to raise a request. Our client will be raising a request with the Windows team. So Windows team will be building one VM server or a physical Windows server, and they give it to us. So on Windows servers, we will be installing the SQL Server, where actually our SQL Server will be hosted on Windows Server. 90% of the software, I mean a SQL Server, were hosted on a Windows Server. On SQL Server 2017 onwards, SQL Server 2017 onwards, Microsoft launched on Linux servers as well. So you can install SQL Server on Linux, but most 95% people will be installing on Windows Server with this, because it is more comfortable and more compatible with the Windows. So application team, what this application team will be doing. So application team means, so whatever the code writing, right, development kind of a team. So whatever the code is there, so whether they will be checking with us whether, so we are going to deploy something on a databases. We are going to deploy something on a databases, like our application is running slowly, so we required some access on the databases. We please create a table on this databases, please create a table on this databases. These kind of work we use it to get it from application team. Okay, network team. So network team. So what will I, what so in generally network team. So we use it to touch base with the network team. So like SQL Server is listening on some kind of port, network IP protocol port. So when you're building your SQL Server installation or something, so we need to get in the network team, and we need to open a port from our Windows servers. I mean, whether application is contacting with the from Windows server to, sorry, some web server to SQL server. See, in generally, see, this is our application. Like here you have, and here our our DB servers, and here our app. See, you can say app or something like that, web servers also. Okay, app or web servers. In generally, where, see, in generally from client, from user, in generally request, how the request is coming, in generally from the user. Okay, from user, request will be coming to the web servers, means our website. From web servers it will be going to the DB, and it will get the details from DB to web, from web to end user. End user is, I mean, if I'm a Facebook, right, if I'm a Facebook user, so as a user, Facebook user, I'm connecting, I'm login through web, so the request will be coming through here, and I'm trying to get the photos, I'm clicked on photos, the request goes to here. From here to, it will be coming to the database, right? From the database it will be going to the web, from web it will be going to the actual our browser. So this is actually happening. So here our database will be available here. So like this, the request goes and the response comes to the database, comes from the database to user. Okay, so here QA team, I told you, right, we will be generally working with a QA team as well. So once the deployment, once in a testing phase, so they'll be doing some testing, so they required some data, QA teams required some data from production live data to development. So this is the production, so this is our test servers, right? So for new features, they wanted to test for a new features based on the client requirement. So for a development, for dev team or for a QA team, they required a fresh data. So dev team or test team, they required a fresh data from the production. So we DBA, what we need to do, we need to take the backup from the production live environment, and we need to restore in a dev or test environment. Once they restore in a dev one test environment, they will be testing, they will be using this data. Because when you wanted to test a new features, whatever the data is available in currently live, that needs to be copied here, then only our testing will be completed successfully. I mean, with no issues with the live data. Okay, so these are the, I mean, told you, right, these are our installations, administration, maintenance, SQL Server. This is setting up. I told you, create a users and assigning a permissions. I mean, a daily we use it to work on daily linked servers and a design database backup and the restore strategy. Once create a DB backup, monitor this backup and everything. So time to time recover the database. Like something went wrong with the databases, something got corrupted, database got corrupted. How you can recover the data from the database backups? So this is the one. Setting high availability concept. So setting like a high availability concept, like failover clustering, database mirroring, log shipping, mirroring, always on. So why high availability means, high availability is the main important thing, right? So when you are using application or something, Facebook, so you people use it to get some notifications or something like the WhatsApp. Some days WhatsApp is not working properly, Facebook is not able to log into the Facebook properly. Why? Because if see some all this won't happen all the time, so once in a while this will happen, but so they will take proper precautions to stop these kind of issues. So they'll be keeping data and somewhere else they'll replicate data to some other servers. So in that can so here like we have a data in actual here, and it will be replicating to here. Data will be replicating to here, here to here. So something goes wrong to this server, immediately users will be connected to this server. Users will be routed to this server. We people don't know whether we are connecting to this server or whether we are connecting to this server. So behind the screens, one mechanism will be setting up high availability concept, high availability technology will be set up. Like something goes wrong to one of the live production server, immediately request should be routed to this again one standby server. So from these servers, again request will be served to the users or clients. Okay. So troubleshooting and various problems on a daily basis. This kind of something like the weekly checks and what we will be doing, like backup verification, check logins. These are the some of the topics, and how we can set up the monitoring, how we can monitoring structure. So some documentation is there, what we need to do. So what kind of third-party tools were available in the market for backups or for monitoring purpose. So these are some details. Okay. Hopefully you people are clear with this one. So this is the in general topic. This is not only for IT people, non-IT people can understand this one. So what is actually happening? Please feel free to ask questions. We have a 10 minutes of time. Any kind of questions, don't hesitate. It's a very dumb question or anything. Just feel free to ask. If you are having in a mind, just feel free.
Hi sir, I have some doubt regarding for role and responsibility for the DBA. So as a DBA person doing like that, like query tuning and performance optimization, it is also a part of DBA or another part?
See, query
Because
tuning.
in my organization, we are working as a query optimization and query tuning also.
Yeah, see, this comes, see, in generally, this will be also coming in administration part, but mostly this will be done by development team. And so if we have some knowledge and we have query tuning part, we can give suggestions and we can provide our suggestions. We can make them sure, like so if you are using this one, the application is running slowly, you need to use this one. So I'll be explaining related to performance tuning, like in general, not in a big, that is again a big topic. So once after learning this one, again we will be having a performance tuning. This is a big topic, but it will
Yes.
come. So in generally, end of the class, I'll be providing the uh, class and the details how you can do performance tuning.
Yes.
So that I'll provide, but that is not the basic level only, not as expertise level. So that is again a different, I told you, right? It's a different from the administration part.
Okay. But in generally, developer part, developer is working, right?
Yeah, mostly developer they will be doing.
Okay.
So any
Yeah, one more question. So with respect to lab, right? Are you providing any lab environment, or we should have our VM up and running on our system?
Yeah, VM up and running on your system actually. So that is the Windows server. You can install Windows servers on a VMs, and
Okay, so
you
do you do it in advance, or will you tell us that when the time comes?
which one? Sorry.
No, regarding the hands-on lab, right? No, or so can
See,
we?
See, hands-on lab means, so in generally I'll be showing what is while doing the installation, doing setup, I'll be showing everything. So one more thing is like whatever it is there, so I will be sharing the videos. I mean, a link will be there, so you can verify the class again and again. You need to same setup, you need to do it on your machines, and you need to do test, you need to do practice, and if you have any problem, you can reach out to me.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So tomorrow onwards, we are going to fully into SQL Server topics. So this is in general because I focused on whoever not attended last time demo classes, and this time, so I'm trying to give some inputs. Yeah, guys, please, ask your questions.
So one more question. So, I mean, what is the minimum hardware, that needed in order to, complete our VMP?
See, hardware and requirements as if you have, see, minimum is 2 GB or 1 GB, but 4 GB. So see, nowadays all people are having minimum 8 GB, right?
Correct.
4 GB also not an issue. 4 GB also fine. In a 4 GB, what you need to do? You need to say you need to install one VM with the 2 GB. Okay, VM with the 2 GB, and you can install SQL Server.
Okay. Okay. And other thing is, we are going to cover about, clustering and everything, right? I mean, applications.
Yes, exactly. We are going to cover. So this is like a more real time. So don't think about the whatever is happening in a training institutes.
Okay.
Okay. This is entirely different if compared with that one.
Okay. I'm sorry for the more question. And are we
Yeah, you can.
talk about anything cloud services in SQL Server? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I'll let you know. I mean, in by ending of the class, I'll let you know what kind of SQL related topics. I mean, there in a cloud, everything. Okay. I'll give bit details and bit intro about that one as well in the end of the training. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Feel free to reach out to me on my mobile number. So this is my mail ID, and this is my mobile number. You can reach out to me on this if you have any questions or anything. See, I mean, you people are comfortable if I'm just moving to 6:30 a.m. as well. Hello.
Yeah, if everyone okay, I'm fine.
Yeah. I mean, just wanted to half an hour early. I wanted to take it. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, great. So if you people don't have any questions, we can wrap up the session.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I'll share the links. I'll share the links again. And for 2 days, see, the thing is like, 1 second. Let me stop recording.